So what we're going to do today is we are going to I'm going to give an overview of the product in the portal and using the actual program as a user. I'm also going to go over how to access statistics for your library in our admin portal. So let's get started. First, I'm going to pick out Wexford. I love that Mango's right on the home page. That looks beautiful. So if you click on the link, you're obviously going to get to the Mango login page. So here is the login page that all your users are going to see. They can either create a profile on the left if they've never created a profile before and they want to track their progress, or they can have quick access with just anonymous access and put in just their library card number. So since I'm remote, I'm seeing both of these. So if I was a patron of one of your libraries, so we're doing Wexford, for example, I could just sign in right away and use a library card number. Or if I've already created an account, I would log in on the left side here using my email address and my password. Today we're just going to go ahead and use quick access. There's really no difference as far as content between logging in anonymously versus creating a profile. The only difference is just that you will be able to track your progress if you create a profile for Mango. All right, so here you're going to see the first page is languages. So you're going to see all languages, top languages. Those are going to be the first two pages that you see. The top languages are all the languages that are being most currently used at this time. And then all languages will show you every language that we have that's available. Anything that's new will have a green circle with a new icon next to it. So that's how you can tell really quickly by logging in, just to kind of see which languages we've updated and added to your subscription. The next tab over is the Learn English tab. So here you're going to see we have 17 different courses for ESL courses. So we use both the source text and the target text to accommodate for all types of learners. So you'll see, based on Mango methodology, we use both languages in teaching all of our foreign courses. So we thought it would be best to use both languages in teaching our ESL courses as well, to follow in line with our methodology, which you'll learn a little bit more about once we start the program. The next tab over is our specialty courses. So this is really great for promoting. So if you want to promote in your library, you're having another event for your patrons and it's centered around a specific topic, you might be able to find a specialty course that goes along with something like that. I know that something that's popular over here is there's International Talk Like a Pirate Day. It happens on September 19th every year. And I know a lot of libraries will use that day to really get kids engaged with learning a new language, kind of introducing them to the value of learning a new language in a fun way. So we've got a pirate course to learn how to talk like a pirate. Something that we just created this year was the Cherokee course. We've got anything from medical Spanish, legal Spanish. We even have a texting Spanish course to learn how to text in Spanish. And then, of course, we've got our romance courses for our romance languages. So these courses will teach you how to flirt in any of the romance languages. So these are, as you can see, they're really fun courses that kind of engage your patrons in a different way than just being a straightforward language learning opportunity. The next tab over is the All Movies tab. So here you're going to see this is a product that's language learning through full-length feature films. So it's based on a rating. So we have 0 and up and 8 and up enabled for your libraries. So you'll see here that it's a full-length award-winning feature film. And then we also have these shorter National Geographic clips. So if you click on more information, it's going to tell you what it's about. It's going to tell you how long it is. This one's a documentary. It's going to show you exactly what's going to be involved in it. This one has 0 rating, so there's no parental advisory or anything that the film contains. But on other ones, you will see that information filled out. So you can log in on the right here. So we're accessing the program anonymously, remember. So if you are showing a patron and you do guest access with the library card real quick, and they start using the program, they start learning French, and they're really far into their course and they want to save their progress, they can actually create a profile. Oops, you can actually sign up and create a profile while you're in the course, and it will track all of your progress that you'd used in that particular session. You can also log in if you originally started in guest mode and you actually want to log into your account. Up in the upper right hand corner here, you'll see we have a translate tab. So this is for learners that just want to log in and translate one specific phrase. They don't want to go back through the course that they were learning to figure out what the phrase was. They just want to know exactly what it is. They can use the translate feature up here. And then we have a feedback option as well. So any end users can write a review, they can leave their name and email address, and by doing that, we're able to communicate with them. So if they have a question, we can email them back and hopefully provide some answers. Over to the left here, you'll see a search feature. So here you can type in a language, and you'll see all the courses that we have for that language. Just a quicker way to access. We've also got the home screen. So here it looks a little lonely because we haven't started any courses yet, but you'll see that it has an option to save your learning hours, how many courses you've studied, and the lessons you've completed. And any courses that you start, you'll have the course cards show up down here. So you can, again, have quick access to the courses that you were specifically working on, whether it be a Mango Conversations course, a specialty course, or a Mango Premier language learning through film course. The next tab over is the languages tabs, which we first landed on, and then we have a My Activity stream. So here is where you're going to find your personal usage statistics broken out by month. So this is as an end user, when I'm logging into my account, I will see my usage here. Obviously, I'm logged in as a guest right now, so I have no usage to report. But if I were using this consistently, I would be able to go back through monthly and even download my personal statistics as a CSV file if I ever wanted to turn them into a school or a language club I attend. This is the space for that. The next tab down is the support tab. So here we have a few FAQs. We also have a toll-free number or even a link that you can submit a support ticket. Anybody can send an email to support@mangolanguages.com, and a support ticket will automatically be created. And the last tab down here is Mango Labs. So this is really our main focus this last year was really trying to get in touch with the end user. So we wanted to talk to your patrons, we want to talk to anybody who's using the product to learn a language, and we want to make sure that we're producing a product that adds value to them. This is one of the biggest ways that we're trying to accomplish that. So in Mango Labs, you're going to see a list of different languages that we have had requested that reached a certain threshold. So once they reach that threshold of being requested enough times, we put them up on Mango Labs for anybody to access and vote on. So when you click on a particular language and you click View Info, it's going to tell you like a brief paragraph about what the language is. And if you're logged in, you can vote on how much you want that course specifically developed. You can also provide your email address and say notify me, and we will notify you if that course gets developed. Perfect example of this one is American Sign Language. I don't know if you saw, but on the All Languages tab, we do actually have an American Sign Language course now, and it's because of Mango Labs. So we were able to get a bunch of email addresses. A lot of people really wanted to give their feedback, and in that way, we were able to survey them and ask them, why do you want to learn American Sign Language? What purpose do you have? Who would you be talking to? What kind of conversations do you want to have? And with that, with the information that we gained from that, we realized that a finger spelling course or like the American Sign Language alphabet would be more fitting for the kind of population that we were hoping to serve with that. So it really provides a lot of insight to make sure that we are creating the right courses that people actually want to use instead of just creating courses that nobody's really going to use. So that's a really neat feature. And then, of course, down here, we've got both the App Store link and the Google Play Store link for the mobile apps that we have. So we just recently gave our mobile apps a makeover. They look great. So here you can see them here. It looks completely way more intuitive, way more user-friendly. You can sign up for an account through the mobile app. We have our voice comparison feature on it. There's even like a mobile sync feature where you can start on your computer and then move to your iPad or your iPhone or your smart device, and it'll actually remember where you left off. We've got a night mode. We've got an autoplay feature. So this is for patrons that want to learn a language while they're cooking or on their commute, where they don't want to necessarily interact with the app and advance through the slides. They just want to have it play in the background with little interaction. We have an autoplay feature for that. And so that's where you can find the links for that. But then you can also just search Mango Languages in either app store, and you'll be able to pull it right up. So that's the portal. We're going to go ahead and get started with a language, and we are going to go ahead and get started learning a little bit of Japanese. So every chapter is going to start with conversational goals and grammar goals. We want to accommodate for all types of learners. We want to make sure that we give all the information that a learner could possibly want in a simple form that they can skip over if they're not interested, So for example, in this course, we're just going to go over expressing gratitude, making small talk with strangers, yes/no questions using the particle ka, and basic sentence structure, etc. So this is what we're going to learn in this particular chapter, and then we're going to go ahead and start off with a full conversation in Japanese. So this is not meant to overwhelm you. Don't get overwhelmed, Amy. This is just to show you how Japanese sounds, how they'll get used to how the audio is for a foreign language.
Listen to the following conversation.
こんにちは。いい天気ですね。
ええ、観光ですか？
ええ、そうです。
気をつけて。
ありがとうございます。じゃあ、さようなら。
さようなら。
So this, like I said before, don't get overwhelmed. This is just to expose you to the language initially. And just you can replay the slide as many times as you want by clicking this little replay button down here, or you can just go ahead and move on to get started. So we're just going to jump in at slide 16 and start with our first sentence.
Here's how you would say, "It is fine weather, isn't it?"
いい天気ですね。
All right, Amy, what can you tell me? What's the first thing you notice about this slide?
The different colors?
The different colors, exactly. And what do you think the colors are doing?
Probably matching up the English words with the Japanese words.
Exactly, yeah. So this is called our semantic color mapping. So we basically color code to match up the meaning, the semantics of each language to make it easier for you to understand what means what. So if I asked you, what do you think these red characters mean down here?
Weather.
Exactly. So that kind of you're already learning some Japanese just by looking at it. How do you think you would pronounce these red characters?
I have no idea.
Exactly. That's when our phonetic pop-ups come into play, especially for languages that don't have Roman characters that make it a little bit harder to pronounce. At first sight, we have our phonetic pop-ups where you hover over it and you can see it phonetically how you would say it. So do you want to go ahead and give this a try? How do you think you say those red characters now?
Tenki?
Tenki? How confident are you?
Fairly confident?
Barely confident? Would it help if we had a native speaker say it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if I click on it,
天気。
we hear a native speaker say it at a slower pace, so you can really get your pronunciation correct.
天気。天気。
Do you want to give it another shot?
Tenki.
Beautiful. Okay, so I want to point out that we have all the audio for our courses recorded at 2 different speeds. As you just saw,
天気。
that's a little bit slower pace just to make sure that your pronunciation on every word is going to be as slow as the learner needs it.
いい天気ですね。
But then we also want to make sure that we have a conversational pace so that when you're walking around Japan, when you take your trip, which is what you're learning your language for maybe, then you don't sound like you don't know the language. So we want to include the conversational pace as well.
いい天気ですね。
So you can notice that the speed of both of them are quite different.
いい天気ですね。
All right, so now that we taught you a full sentence, we're going to break it down and build it back up.
Let's learn how to say weather.
天気、
All right, so we just learned that one.
How do you say weather?
All right, so we just taught you weather, and now we're asking you, how do you say weather? Why do you think we do that, Amy?
To help me remember.
Exactly. So basically what happens is there's something called the forgetting curve, and this is us trying to account for the forgetting curve. So when you're at a party and you're talking to someone and they say, oh, my name's James, and you're like, oh, okay, and then 5 minutes later you totally forget what their name was. This is trying to account for that. So that is the forgetting curve. So if you said, oh, hi, James, it's nice to meet you, James. James, where are you from? You would remember that name further along in your conversation because of the instant recall. That's exactly what we're doing here, just in applying it to language learning. You'll notice that I turned the timer. You can turn the timer on or off. Some people like the timer to kind of make them put a little bit more pressure on to recall whatever they just learned. Other people like to have it off. You can also turn the narrator on and off. And it just kind of depends on your preference, but we want to make sure that's available to all the patrons as well in the settings tab in the bottom right. This I will help you see the answer. So if you click on that,
天気、
we'll get the answer.
To say fine, you would say E.
いい、いい、
All right.
Remember this? Say fine.
All right, in true Mango fashion, we just taught you fine was E, and then we're going to quiz you on it. Amy, can you give it a shot? How do you say fine in Japanese?
E.
E.
Beautiful.
Okay, now try to say weather.
Do you remember weather?
Tenki.
天気、
You got it.
Okay, let's hear it. How do you say fine?
What do you think?
E.
E.
Beautiful. So now,
Now, can you figure out the best way to say fine weather?
okay, so now we already learned weather, we already learned fine. How would you say fine weather?
E tenki.
いい天気、
Beautiful. You're already learning Japanese. Throughout the course, you're going to see grammar notes and culture notes sprinkled throughout it, so we have a really well-rounded approach to language learning. It's going to show up when it's relevant to the material that you're learning, to the content. It's going to show you different, it's basically, we call it stealth grammar because we don't want to have the learner just learning rules or memorizing those kinds of things. We want to make it applicable to the exact learning moment that the learner is experiencing in that time. So that's why they are sprinkled throughout all the courses, as well as culture notes as well. Culture notes are just going to point out different social faux pas, different things about when you would say good morning versus good afternoon or good night, those kinds of things, just to make sure that the learner is fully prepared and getting a real well-rounded approach to language learning whether they're going to travel somewhere or they just want to know the cultural etiquette when speaking to a native speaker.
Try this one,
ですね、
which means it is, isn't it?
Okay, so the last feature I want to show you is the voice comparison feature. And so that's this little microphone down here in the bottom left. So when you click on that, you're going to allow your microphone. And then when you click on start recording, it's going to record your voice. And then you're going to drag it and bring it over here to match it up to the native speaker. So you can hear the native speaker say it.
ですね、
And you can hear yourself say it, and then you can hear both of them at the same time. So this feature is really for perfecting your pronunciation. There's a lot of times when we say it out loud to ourselves, and we can think that we're saying it a certain way, but until we actually record ourselves and listen to it being played back, we miss some of the little nuances of pronouncing a particular word. Again, there's another option for feedback down here. And then you saw me earlier moving around the cursor with the slides down here. You can choose whatever slide you want to start on, go back to whatever slide you want to be on. And then, of course, we have our keyboard guide down here. That is all of the features that I need to cover for Mango Conversations. Mango Premiere is the language learning through full-length feature films, and then also the National Geographic Wild Chronicles that I showed you earlier. So it's using the same Mango methodology, so all the same things you saw, the quiz slides, the semantic color mapping, the voice comparison feature, the 2 different speeds of the audio. So it's using all the same features that we have in Mango Conversations, but instead of using the content being a real-life conversation, like the one we just saw, instead of that, the content is actually going to be all of the content of the film. So whatever content is in the film, that's what the learner is going to be learning. And there's 2 different modes for Mango Premiere. There's movie mode and engage mode. And movie mode is just kind of like streaming a movie. So you're going to have the option for subtitles in your target language and your source language. And then also you can turn on the semantic color mapping for the subtitles, just so you can kind of get a little bit of passive learning while you're watching the film. Or you can go into engage mode. And that's where you really break it down with the Mango methodology. You have all those features I was talking about before. You break it into scenes, and it's a little bit more in-depth of learning. It provides a lot more of a non-linear approach to language learning. So any learners that you have that really want to go further with their language learning, this provides hours upon hours of content, since we're teaching like every dialogue line in the movie. So this is a good resource for patrons like that. But I'm going to go ahead and show a brief video just so you can see what I'm talking about. So it's just under 2 minutes, and it's going to show you all the different features in the 2 different modes. And this was used as our teaser when we first created Mango Premiere.
With Mango Premiere, education and entertainment go hand in hand. The first and only language learning resource to teach through film, Mango Premiere provides an experience unlike any other, one that engages users from the very start and keeps them coming back for more. With Mango Premiere, you're in the driver's seat. You can select from 2 different modes of learning, movie mode or engage mode. In movie mode, you have the option to watch the movie from beginning to end with your choice of subtitles. You can pick from English subtitles, subtitles in the language you're learning, or both. Or, if you're ready for the complete experience, you can watch the film in engage mode. In engage mode, the movie is broken down part by part to turn the viewing experience into a learning experience. Before each scene, Mango Premiere sets the stage for what you're about to watch by providing plot highlights, words to watch for, and culture notes. Then, you watch the entire scene with your choice of subtitles. After the scene is finished, Mango's respected language learning methodology kicks into gear to teach you the dialogue part by part. So you'll see all the same features our learners have come to know and love. Color coding, phonetic pop-ups, quizzes, grammar notes, culture notes, and more. You'll even see a dashboard that tracks your exposure to the 4 key elements of language learning: vocabulary, pronunciation, culture, and grammar. Before you move on, we'll play the scene once more so you can hear all the dialogue you've already learned. So get ready for the next generation of language learning. Get ready for an unparalleled experience. Get ready for Mango Premiere.
All right, so hopefully that gave you a pretty good overview of what Mango Premiere is. And then again, remember that you can find those movies right in the portal on the Languages tab, all the way to the right in the All Movies tab. So that's where you'll be able to find that product. Next, I'm going to talk about the administrative portal. And so like I mentioned before, there should be one representative from every library that has access to their library statistics. And so the first thing you're going to see when you log in is the dashboard. It's going to give you a brief overview of your stats. I can see that people have already started using Mango, which is great. I love that. And then you're going to see the statistics tab right in the middle here. When you click on that, you're going to see the start date and end date. So as you see, like the default is just going to be the previous month. So it's always going to show you from whatever day it is, 30 days prior. And so if you ever wanted to change that, you just click on it, change the year, change the month, and then select a date. And then once you change both of them to match the range that you want, you would click this green update button. And then that's going to reflect everything in the rest of the page to reflect that date range. Something I want to note is that in the summary, your mobile number of sessions will be included in your total number of sessions. So the reason that they're broken out is to just show you how popular the mobile apps are. I know across the company right now, across every account that we have, I think on average our mobile sessions account for 2/3 of all of our usage. So like I mentioned before, we did just release a new version of our mobile apps. So definitely download the app, check it out. Encourage your patrons to download it. I know a lot of people are on the go all the time. It makes a great resource to have when you're on the go, having the mobile app like that. Also, you'll notice that on the Promote tab over here, it's going to take you to promotemango.com. So it's the same website if you click on the Promote tab versus if you just type in promotemango.com. So you don't have to have an admin account to access this page. Anybody, any staff member at your library can access this page, and this is where you're going to find all of the promotional materials for Mango. You can scroll down, you can see that we've got banners and web ads. Some of you may have already seen some of the logos and stuff and used them for your library's website when you're posting the Mango link. We've also got some sample social media posts, some posters and flyers, and anybody can go in here and customize any of the promotional materials. Like I think I did one today. Yes, okay. So here's one that I customized. So all of this stuff is already on the PDF. The picture, the graphic's going to be there. This information about the program is going to be there. And then these 3 lines right here, I added myself. So you can put anything there in those 3 text lines. You can put, you know, if you're going to have a Mango event or have some kind of promotion on a particular date, or if you want to put your library's website. And then you can add a logo. Right next to our Mango logo, and then you can download it as a PDF, and I could print this myself right now, or I could save it or post it online or post it up in the library. There's a couple different options that you have, and in order to create one of those, you would just click on flyers. You would find whatever flyer you wanted. There's a couple different ones that you can choose from. Our marketing promotion is a little bit funnier than most. We want to make sure that, you know, we think of language learning as fun instead of just dry and boring. So for February, which is coming up, you'll see a couple flyers on Valentine's Day. So you can see ready for some romance. So learn through our romance courses. So that's what I told you before. The specialty courses, the romance courses will teach you how to flirt in our romance languages. The 4 romance languages are listed here, and then you can put your own information, your own text, custom text here, and add a logo, or you can choose from another flyer as well. And we've got them for almost every month, so you can definitely use them as often as you'd like. We've also got bookmarks that you can print out, and posters, and table tents as well. I know that sometimes shelf talkers are used for in other areas of the library, like travel books or other language books that you have. You can put up a shelf talker and refer back to the website or how to access it at your particular library. And then the last part I wanted to show you is what some other libraries are currently doing to promote Mango. So I know this past summer, a couple libraries had these, they would call like around the world night or passport night at their library, where each table would be set up to cover a different culture or a different country. And then they would just set up the tables with different artifacts from that country, and have a computer with Mango set up on it, or an iPad with Mango set up on it, and they would learn a bit of the language at each table. So the patrons would go around. I know one library actually printed out different passports with little QR codes and everything, and had stamps at each station, and the patrons would go and get their passport stamped when they visited a particular country table, and then once they get their passport stamped all together, they would win some free prize or be entered to win in a raffle or something with the library. And then we also have a Mango language scavenger hunt. So this is what some libraries are using with their staff to kind of get their staff familiar with the program. So it's got a couple different questions about different parts of the program that will help. You have to like log in and poke around a little bit, explore the program that will really get your staff a little bit more comfortable with using Mango and with talking about Mango to your patrons.